The end-of-year holidays are a busy time on the nation's roads, and this year could be even busier as borders reopen and loved ones reunite after pandemic restrictions. Joining me now live is Victorian Assistant Commissioner for Road Policing Glenn Weir. Assistant Commissioner, thank you so much for joining us this morning. A very busy summer ahead. What will your officers be targeting this year?
So we're targeting all types of risky behaviour. We've seen since restrictions have lifted and people have been moving around the community some really dangerous behaviour, some disappointing behaviour, particularly when it comes to drink driving. So we'll be targeting risky behaviours such as drug and drink driving, speeding and distraction. Mobile phone offences are at the top of our Christmas list.
It's been a busy year for police as it is. How are they all feeling heading into Christmas, and how busy do you think it is going to be?
Yeah, look, it has been an extraordinary 2 years really for our workforce. We've had to deploy and do things that we never thought we'd have to. Our workforce is a bit fatigued, I've got to say, but we are committed to really making sure that we're visible, that we're keeping people safe. We've doing lots of operations. We've started here in Victoria, Operation Roadwise last Friday, to really target people driving the lead up to and just after Christmas. We'll have a huge presence on the road on Boxing Day. We know that a lot of people Victorians will be holidaying within Victoria this year, as well as moving across the borders as they can now. So we'll be out there really visible, really active. We just want people to be safe.
Have you got a message for people on the roads this festive season?
I have. Look, everywhere around the world, Australians and Victorians in particular have done it tough. We've survived most of the pandemic, although we've slipped back into restrictions today. But it's no good surviving all that if you then fall victim to road trauma. The tree behind me is something we do every year. We put up, and each bauble on that tree has the name and the age of a person who's lost their lives on Victorian roads this year. 227 people have lost their lives. So my message is don't be one of those people. Families will suffer that loss for a long time, and it's particularly poignant at Christmas time. So I just appeal to people, please take care, take time, plan. If you're 5 or 10 minutes late because you're taking a bit longer to get there, it doesn't matter, because we'll be out there. We just ask you to do the right thing as well.
Yeah, some terrific and very sound advice. Assistant Commissioner, I just want to ask you, the indoor mask mandate is back. It will apply to everyone aged 8 and over. How will you police this?
So as we've done throughout the whole pandemic with mask rules and others, we take an approach that we'd rather educate and take the community on the journey with us. We act on behalf of the health advice that's given us. Blatant, obvious and reckless disregard for those rules will be enforced. But in the first instance, we take an educative approach. But if anyone blatantly refuses to obey the directions, then we'll be placed in a position where we have to enforce.
Fans have been told to bring a mask to the Boxing Day test on Sunday. Have you got a message for those attending?
Yeah, I have. I'll be there one of the days and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great tradition in Melbourne, the Boxing Day test. And we want everyone again to have a good time. Certainly the mask mandate or the suggestion when you're moving around the hospitality areas to wear one is sound. Just do the right thing. Everyone wants to have a good time. We all love a good time, and it's that time of year. But please don't do anything antisocial, don't do anything stupid, and just do the right thing and use common sense.
Absolutely. And just finally, we've seen huge lines at testing queues across parts of the country, but of course also in Victoria. Are you finding instances of antisocial behaviour? What's it like out there?
Not really. We were called to one in South Melbourne the other day where there was some traffic congestion, but overall people over the last bit have been really appreciative of the efforts of the health professionals. I was in a testing isolation last week myself, and it was 20 minutes in and out. It was really professional and really calm the way they did it, and we just asked people to respect others. Health professionals have worked harder than anyone during this pandemic, and none of them deserve to cop any grief just because someone's held up in a line for a little while.
Hopefully a quiet weekend for police. Merry Christmas, Assistant Commissioner for Road Policing Glenn Weir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and all your viewers.